Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining on the live stream. We've got a great guest here. We are just coming off the Paralympic Games in Paris 2024, and we are talking here on the Mary Free Bed social media channels. And we are talking to one of our basketball players, one of the players who joined our basketball team this past year, John Boie. He is part of the team that won 3 Paralympics in a row. And for him, this is his second medal. So we're so excited to have him joining us on the live stream. John Boie, you just probably got back just a couple days ago, right? How are you feeling about the overall experience?
Man, well, I'm still adjusting to jet lag here, but the experience was tremendous compared to Tokyo when everything was still going through COVID. Now we got the chance to have fans and have a very different atmosphere. Paris did an awesome job with the games and hyping up the crowd and having it be really an exciting place to play.
Yeah, so I mean, you're talking about that having the crowd in there, but what was it like to play in these games and have like your family come out and travel with you and friends to just support and to really get that big experience of what the Olympics and the Paralympics, should be like?
Yeah, it meant the world to me that they got to be there in person to experience what I had going on. Um, you know, Tokyo was a bummer, but everybody got to watch it from a live stream back home, which the support was still tremendous. But to have them there and to give them a hug after the game, and all their own parts of contributing to my success and getting me to where I am, to share that with my loved ones, meant the world to me. And they got to make a lot of really cool trips out of it, get a good excuse to go to Paris, travel around, and yeah, that changed everything. That made it very special.
So talking about the crowd and the overall experience, but what about like the games? How did the actual competition, how does it feel? It was from watching the games and the scores, you guys seemed to pretty much dominate. I know there were definitely some tough parts in there, but how were you and the team feeling throughout the whole competition?
Yeah, we had talked about it, all summer. We uh, really felt going in that we were the only team that held our own destiny in our hands. We knew the level at which we could play. We've kind of set the standard the last several Paralympic Games for wheelchair basketball, and with the same core group of guys going in, that's won together in the past, along with some new talent that can kind of contribute in their own way. We definitely set the tone and had a lot of confidence going in, but we also knew we had quite the target on our back. Everybody had their best game when they came out to play against us.
Yeah. Was there one game or one moment that stood out to you when you felt like this is that moment that I'm going to take that Polaroid in my mind of like just amazing and look at us here and I can't believe that we're gonna hopefully do this.
I mean, going into the gold medal game, definitely felt that coming in. I wouldn't say it was necessarily pressure, but you could definitely see the bullseye growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And Great Britain is who we ended up playing in the final. Very anxious team to dethrone us, but it was definitely something that we were ready for and very excited to do.
So a lot of people who might follow us on social media here at Mary Free Bed and have followed some of our wheelchair basketball, how would you describe like your position that you play? And you've had a lot of game time from looking back at the stats. Like, just describe like what your role is within the team.
Yeah, it's very different my role on the Mary Free Bed team versus Team USA.
Yeah, walk me through that too, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so wheelchair basketball, for those who don't know, has a classification system depending on how much function your body has. So the more function you have, like for example, a single amputee, they can use their whole body, their core, their hips. They're able to sit a little bit taller because they got better balance. They're going to be a 4.5 player. All the way down to the other end of the scale, like myself, I'm a class one, so I don't have any ab muscles. I sit a little bit lower in my chair. I am a little bit smaller, as a person. And so among your five guys on the court, you can't add up to more than 14 points. So on Team USA, as somebody that's a class one, I'm somebody that wants to create a lot of opportunities for my teammates who have, maybe more function and more height, more ability to get passes over people or catch it over people. Versus on Mary Freebed, even though I am a class one, we still have a point system. I have a unique ability that I'm able to work behind screens and be a primary shooter. Whereas in the Paralympics, every team was trying to hunt me out and make me shoot the ball. So it's very different playing on two different teams.
Is that hard to then to kind of separate? I know probably the seasons and your practices didn't overlap a whole lot, but I mean, probably changing your whole mindset, and it probably speaks to you as a player to be able to go between the two.
Yeah, honestly, it's something I'm pretty proud of. That I'm able to do what I can as my classification as a low point player. But it's something I think has made me, as good as I am to compete in there. Because not everybody on other countries with class ones, if they shoot the ball, it's probably not going in. If they got a big class 4.5 barreling down on them, it might not go as well as, I'm blessed to be able to do against some of those guys.
Yeah, we got to show this picture here too, because this is probably that exact kind of moment that you're speaking of here. Do you remember this shot? I mean, do you remember that moment? And so, remind me who that was. That Spain right there that you were playing against.
Yeah, that was a big layup against Spain. I'd gone to free up our big guy, and kind of took off, and they threw me the ball, and I, threw a floater up and over him, and I remember the crowd just exploding at that point, and Spain called a timeout, and I was like, yeah,
Mm.
that's a dagger, that's a
Yep.
dagger.
That's awesome. And so you are from Wisconsin. Can you just, for we're here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Tell me about how you got connected with our team, and we were fortunate and lucky enough to have you play with us last year, and I believe that you're going to be playing again with us this coming basketball season.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for the opportunity to play with Mary Free Bed. I know a lot of the guys from the past, playing with Comer or Jimmy, or shout out to the rest of my teammates. Uh, so it's a really good opportunity. And Wisconsin has great teams as well. Six of our guys on the Paralympic team were from Whitewater alum. But I just wanted to kind of spread my talents to somewhere else and have a little bit more competition across the country.
Yeah, excellent. So let's also go back to, if you don't mind, sharing a little bit about like your journey and how you got into wheelchair sports. If you don't mind, just sharing the reason why you use a wheelchair.
Yeah, I grew up on a farm in southern Wisconsin here. When I was a little kid, I got run over by a tractor. So really, that's the only way I've known to operate is with a wheelchair. But I went to the University of Wisconsin Whitewater to a wheelchair basketball camp the next summer. Fell in love with wheelchair basketball, and the rest is history. I kind of never looked back, and it's actually where I work now.
And so it sometimes people might have an injury and they try a bunch of different sports, but it sounds like you went right to basketball. Um, how do you think that like helped your, your growth as an individual, and not just in sports but also outside of sports?
Yeah, putting yourself where you're with a lot of other peers that are maybe going through or experiencing a lot of the different struggles that people with disabilities have. It creates a really good community to lean on each other, and make some fun jokes and laugh about stuff that is happening. But it also is a great way that you can kind of lean on each other. You can teach other people. You can get people involved in different sports and things that maybe they didn't know they could do. But guess what? Somebody else with a very similar situation has, and it kind of pushes you to try and learn new things.
And so you're back from the Paralympics. Do you have any kind of an off season before the basketball season starts again?
I am definitely relaxing for a week or two. In my personal life, I'm a big bow hunter. I love deer
Okay. Oh
hunting.
yeah, that's coming up.
Uh, so that starts this Saturday. So I'm going to be spending a good chunk of time in the woods here in the next month or so.
So, John, any advice for somebody who's looking into getting into wheelchair sports? What would you say to them, like the benefits and why they should give it a try?
Yeah, I think that's kind of twofold for me. It's given me a lot of confidence, in something that I'm, can excel at, and I know I can perform well. Not to mention, it's taken me around the world. Uh, it has created a huge community of other athletes and people that are going through a similar thing with me with disability. And some of those people are my best friends at this point in life, and not just because we share athletics, but because we got to meet through that. So I would definitely encourage people to, get out of your comfort zone a little bit and give some new stuff a try. You're gonna meet some amazing people too.
So now I definitely have to ask you, do you think you got any more Paralympics in you? Do you think that you have a chance to go from 2 medals to three, or even just, what's your thoughts on the whole team?
Yeah, I know several guys have said after Tokyo, they're like, "Oh, I'm done. Look at that. We're back in Paris." After Paris, I know some guys were like, "Yep, I'm done." So we'll see. I'm enjoying the time afterwards, but I would like to think that I got another games in me. Hoping some of the other guys do too, and we can continue this legacy that we got going on.
That's awesome. Well, excellent. Well, John, I really appreciate you talking. Congratulations again to you and the whole team, winning gold at the 2024 Paris Paralympic Games, and rooting for you and excited. Oh, we got them here. Let's get a close up of those. We can't end without looking at those. So, okay, do you have a preference? Which one looks better?
Oh, well, this one's from Paris, and this has a little chunk of the Eiffel Tower in it, which is pretty cool.
No way, really?
Yep, each medal had one, and this was my first one, so this is when I really met my first goal. So each one has a little special piece to it for me.
Awesome. Well, once again, we appreciate you and the whole team. It's got to say, it's got to be something really cool. We're gonna put this back on the screen here. The team three-peat, first country to ever win 3 straight golds in men's wheelchair basketball. And John Boie from Wisconsin, who's been playing with the Mary Free Bed Pacers, is one of those guys. So congratulations again, John. It was great talking to you, and wish you the best in athletics, and hopefully see you in LA in 2028.
I hope so too. I'll be there at least in some aspect.
Excellent. Well, awesome. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and stay well.